We are going to do the live draw. We cut it short, thought we'd surprise you all. And tonight we're crossing over to our last three competitors, and we won't keep them waiting. We'll head straight over there right now and welcome Mark Driver, Andrew Sloan, and Sean Marr. So we'll cross over to Mark Driver first. How are you, mate?
Good, not too bad, Josh. Thanks for having me back on.
It's great to get you back in this competition, buddy. And whereabouts in Ireland are you, for those that don't know?
So I'm down in the southeast of Ireland, so down here in kind of on the Laois-Kilkenny border, so plenty of rivers around, so plenty of options, so good fishing.
All right, are you there, guys?
Yeah, still here.
Whereabouts are you, mate?
Whereabouts am I?
Yeah, Sean. Whereabouts are you in Ireland?
Sorry, Josh. I'm in the south of Ireland, in County Tipperary. So I suppose most of my fishing is on the River Shore and a few of the tributaries. So still searching for that special spot for the competition.
Nice. Let's cross over to Northern Ireland, over to Andrew Sloan. Sloan, mate, how about you, buddy? Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Dromore in County Down. I suppose my local river would be the Lagan. There's a few nice rivers about me, and it's good enough fishing. Yeah.
We've got a couple of Peter drivers jumped on. Hi, lads. The young boys on tonight. Tom Beecher, boys. And we've got Andrew Naylor on Facebook said, "Time to redeem yourself, driver kid." You had a good match there. Well, you fished pretty well in Series 1. And you're just unlucky. If I remember, you got 18, 20 fish or something like that.
Yeah, I think I had 26, I think, in the hour. Dave was up around 34 or something. Kind of hadn't really picked my rivers too well, or I picked my river, but kind of picking the location. Didn't do enough kind of homework. Had maybe too many options, didn't narrow it down enough. So made things a little bit more difficult on myself. The weather changed things, the river dropped, the fish had kind of changed a bit as well in their behavior and up in the river a bit. So wasted a bit of time leading into where I started and stuff like that. So hopefully this time around I have a lot more practice and thought process gone into it now this time around. So hopefully it'd make a different impact to the result.
We'll stay with you for a sec, Mark. How's with fishing the first series? How's your lead into this second series with training and stuff? Have you got any tips for these guys, or?
I would have given too much away. It's all down to efficiency. The difference that even practicing lead up to my match in the first sector or first series. To afterwards, I think me and Dave had an interview a week or two after. I think after his second game or something. I was out helping Dave with a few spots, and the difference it made to even my preparation with my chest pack, going to the river. Where before I was bringing way too many things with me, things hanging out my chest pack, etc. Just narrowing it right down, making everything simple, only bringing what you need. There's no point having extra stuff with you. It only leads to weight and wearing you down, and lead to more exhaustion or lack of energy later on in a session. This time around, my practice so far, I'm really more focusing on the hour, but also I'm doing 1 hour sessions at the moment, a good bit, but I'm also kind of adding on a half an hour afterwards to source fish and find fish and see where they're lying and stuff like that and their behaviors. seeing where their most prominent lies are in some of the spots that I picked to hopefully fish this series. So in terms of that, and also kind of my leader setups, I've changed my net around, different things like that to be more efficient, fast, quick, save time, save on hooking time, resetting up your rigs and stuff like that. So all that has come into effect this time around. So to speed things up, save time, just in case things do change on the day and you might need a bit of extra time to maybe find a fish or something. By saving that time in terms of setups and things like that, you're between netting the fishing and hooking and everything else, all them seconds add up. So if you are struggling for a few fish maybe near the end and it's a tight match or something, all that's going to lead into it. Like, so it's very important. So,
and I've got here Andrew Sloan's come on some cormorants on that screen, and Dave O'Donovan, he's defo a driver, and Jason Corcoran came on with a few whiskeys the night before first match.
Maybe.
All right, let's cross over to Shawnee. Shawnee, how have you been preparing, mate? How's your training going?
Yeah, still searching, Josh. Trying to get out of the weekend and check a few different spots on the River Shore and the Anner tributary. Trying to find somewhere local. The fishing has been tough. Struggling to get numbers, but I'm still searching. So we'll do the same this weekend. Try a few different spots. The reception is the problem, the same as the issue we all have. So it's trying to get reception in a good fishing area.
Yeah, we need to start talking to the telephone companies, telecoms. How about and Shawnee, for those that don't know you very, very well at all, whoever's watching, is like, what sort of level of competition have you been fishing before?
I suppose I fished nationals every year. I have 2 national titles, provincial title. I fished the Europeans in Spain, fished the Worlds in Scotland. I suppose I've qualified a dozen times for the Irish team, but I haven't travelled on every occasion. So that's my experience, really. Not fished as much in the last few years, but still love getting out and spending time in the water. So that's where I am at the moment.
All right, let's cross over to Northern Ireland, to Sloaney, mate. How about your preparations? How's your training going over there?
Well, I haven't really started practicing yet. Hopefully I'll get out this weekend. But the fishing's been sort of slow enough. It's been cold for the last 3 weeks. It's been cold enough, and there hasn't been any rain, and it's made the fishing just that wee bit hard. But I'm going to go out this weekend and maybe see if I can get a few. Starting to warm up a wee bit, so it should be going a wee bit better.
So that's a bit unlike Northern Ireland, to not rain.
No, it hasn't rained in about 4 weeks.
That's crazy. We've got Peter's come on, Peter Driver said, Sean, top rod there. And Philip Poops just come on. He said, hi, Josh, could you ask Mark Sloan who is the better angler between him and his brother Andrew?
We'll have to find out, sure, will we?
That's a good answer. Put it down to the match. What if you draw each other in the game? Is it going to be?
That's what I was saying earlier on. We're going to have to flip a coin. I think we're going to be looking to go to the same spot.
Awesome. Well, how's Mark Driver? How's things over there with people been getting stuck into you, but they giving you some comments and giving you a bit of a banter over there?
No, a little bit. Kind of been chatting to one or two of the guys. All right. Kind of linking with Peter, and Old Bull has been on there a few times with me there, checking in daily to see how I'm getting on. So, but no, it's slowly starting to pick up. I think all the interviews this week now has got everyone's kind of heads in the game a little bit. So we've been kind of dropping a few texts and phone calls here and there. So trying to suss each other out. So it's been fun.
is there a lot of people asking, or you guys all asking, you know, what nymphs are you going to use and stuff like that? Where are you going to fish?
A little more so where you're going to fish. The nymphs aren't. A lot of things are warming up at the moment. Like we've had a warm weather fronts kind of come in now at the moment. It was 17 degrees yesterday and kind of 16 today, where previous days it was, you know, only getting up to maybe 6 to 7 degrees. So things are going to warm up. You know, the trout's feed is going to change. So I know myself, even being out today, like the nymphs slightly changed a little bit. The fish have kind of come up off the bottom a little bit as well. So the nymphs will be adapted, I'd say, a good bit over the next week or two. So it'll all depend on the weather and the levels. So that'll be the big thing. So, and I'll like I think Dave was saying the other evening as well. Like you know, areas that are fished a lot, like silver beats, do work well. Or you know, because whatever it may be, as Dave said, an air bubble or something like that. So you know, there's areas that I've been practicing on the silver beats. I've been more prolific. Where areas I was fishing today, you know, I was fishing different coloured weeds because it's in areas that aren't fished as much, like so, due to access and stuff like that. But,
we got Tom O'Connor jumped on here and said, two good lads, the Sloans. And then your brother Mark jumped on and said, "You better believe it, Tom." How's things between do you if I go to Sloaney, you and your brother, do you head out together and practice together a lot?
Yeah, we usually go out together a good bit, but sort of the last few weeks the fishing hasn't been great, so it hasn't really. You're just getting the odd fish here and there. It hasn't. But this weekend we're going to try a spot now. We sort of forgot about it. I remembered about it and says, if this is this could be the spot to do it for us, you know. But yeah, it's better when you go out together, for you can try different tactics and you can use different flies and stuff and see which is working best.
Yeah, and let's cross over to Shawnee. Shawnee, mate, Tom O'Connor, keep away from me in the draw. That's what he's saying. He's talking to you, I think, Sloaney. But Shawnee, how's what sort of setup do you usually use? Is it like a two nymph setup, or?
Yeah, similar to all the other guys, I suppose. Nymphing is probably the most efficient way to get trout and get them fast. So yeah, normally 2 nymphs set up, but in low water conditions, I suppose 90% of the time just 1 nymph. You know, just try and keep a little bit further away from them. But
will you be targeting like the shallow waters? We heard Dave last night talking about, you know, get into the shallow waters and whip them out as quick as you can, or?
Yeah, I don't know yet, Josh, because you know, the numbers I'm getting are not great, so I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to fish. I'm trying at the moment. I'm targeting the softer water, the side of runs and maybe little pools, and they seem to be more productive than the runs at the moment. Probably just the cold weather, but it will improve in the coming weeks. It's getting a bit milder, so fingers crossed the numbers will go up, Josh.
Nice. Well, all right, lads. It's great to have you guys jump on tonight. Thanks for your time. I think that what we might do is, I've got here in front of me the lucky drawers. So what we might do is say thanks, and we'll get into the live draw. So thanks again for tonight. And let's take a recap at all the competitors for Sector 2.
Welcome to Fly Fish Live Series 2. Here are your 10 competitors for Sector 2. Representing Ireland, Tom Beecher. Representing Ireland, Peter Driver. Representing the USA, Danny Sizek. Representing Ireland, Mark Driver. Representing Ireland, David O'Donovan. Representing Northern Ireland, Andrew Sloan. Representing Ireland, Sean Marr. Representing Northern Ireland, Mark Sloan. Representing Ireland, Tom O'Connor. Representing Ireland, David Coughlin. These 10 fly fishermen will fight it out for the chance to compete in the World Final in Ireland next year. Good luck, guys.
Alrighty. Well, this is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. Work out who's going to be competing against who. We have got our great little you ain't fishing unless you're drinking stubby holders. They're all the names and the numbers. They're the names, they're the numbers. All right, so what I'll do is I'll draw out name first, and then I'll draw out the number, and we'll slot them into where they belong. So start with, let's give it a shake. So the first competitor to come out in Sector 2 is, pull this out. The first competitor is, Mark Sloan. Mark was just on the screen. Mark Sloan, he's the first competitor. Now we'll see what luck of the draw, what number he gets. Good shake. Mark Sloan is in number, what is it? And he's in number 4. So Mark Sloan is in position number 4. Good on Sloaney. So Sloaney's as we saw, he's up there in North Ireland. He hasn't done a lot of practice. I don't know too much about his angling skills and stuff, but from what I've heard, he's quite a very skilled angler, and he knows these other competitors quite well. And he's fished in pretty high competitions before, so it's going to be interesting to see who he comes up against. So he's in position number 4 now. So what we'll do is let's go to the next person and draw out the next name. Good shake. All right, here it is. This one, and you won't believe it. It's another Northern Islander, Andrew Sloan. So Andrew Sloan came out. Let's see what position he gets in. We'll give this numbers a shake. This could be interesting if he comes up against his brother. So right here, I folded these pretty well. He is in number 5. So Andrew Sloan, he won't be up against his brother to start with, but Andrew Sloan is in position number 5. And we saw Andrew in an exhibition match against Eamon Conway, I think it was back in September, and he fished really well. And that was a great match to watch. I think he only lost at the last minute or so to Eamon by 1 fish or something like that, if I remember correctly. But Andrew's going to be another one to watch. There's a few people telling me that he's a bit of a dark horse, and it's going to be interesting. Righto, let's move on to the next competitor. Give it another good shake. All right, next competitor out is, I did fold these very well, Mr. Peter Driver. So Peter Driver's the next guy. Let's pull out the number. I wonder how nervous these guys are. All right, and Peter Driver will slot into number, he's number 9, position number 9. Peter's In number 9, he was also in Series 1. He made it through to the semi-finals in Series 1, and that was a great match to watch back. And I think it was Marcus Erspiel. He got him right at the last second and won by the first fish in the net. So Peter's one to watch as well. He's usually fishes the River Nor, but we don't know what's up his sleeve this time. But he's now positioned in number 9, and let's go to the next competitor. No matchups yet. It's going to be interesting to see the first matchup. All right. The next competitor out is Mr. Danny Sizek from the USA. Danny, we had a good chat to Danny the other day, and we'll see what position he is in. Good shake. And Danny will be in position number 7. So Danny's holds position number 7. We had it was a great chat to Danny on Tuesday night, and he seems like a really good kid, and he might surprise a few people. I know there's a lot of people who is asking questions. Do I know who he is? I don't know. I've never seen him fish before, but from what I heard, he's been pulling out some all right numbers. So Danny is there in position number 7. So still no matchups yet. Getting down to the wire for the first matchup. Next competitor. Give it a good shake. Next competitor is Jonas Olsen. He just said, go, Danny. Next competitor is Tom O'Connor. So Tom O'Connor is our next competitor. Let's see if we get a matchup now. Tom, let's see what number Tom gets. Good old shake. And this number, Tom is now, he's in position number 3. Tom is in position 3. Do we have a matchup? I'm not quite sure yet. I think we might have actually, but when we spoke to Tom, he was our first competitor up for interview, and seemed like a really great guy, and he he came out with quite a few fish on that day of his interview, and let's just see how he goes in the 1 hour competition. We've got Mark Sloan versus Tom O'Connor, so that's going to be an absolute cracker, I reckon. I reckon the banter's already started between them two. I think they know each other very well. All right, so let's cross over to our next competitor. Let's give it a bit of a shake. So our next competitor is Mark Driver. So Mark Driver's the next competitor. This will be interesting if he gets Peter. Let's see what number Mark gets. Good old shake. Okay. All right, here we go. Number Mark Driver is number 1. Mark is drawn number 1. No matchup yet for Mark. Tom O'Connor's fed, oh no. All right. So Mark Driver, yeah, he was great to chat to him tonight, and he was in Series 1 also. Great to watch him fish, and he moves through the water very quickly. He's got a, they call him the young bull. So he's going to be one to watch, and he's been sending me some videos and catching a lot of fish recently. So he's going to definitely be one to watch. All right, let's get to the next competitor. We've only one matchup. These are all going to be matchups from now on. So the next competitor next competitor is Mr. David O'Donovan. David O'Donovan. Righto, let's see what position Dave gets. Good shake. Mark Driver said you were lucky there, Pete. All right. Where is David Donovan? He has drawn number. He has drawn number 2. It looks like Mark's got to compete against Dave. First match. This one will be very interesting. Dave made the final in Series 1 last year, back in July, and he went really, really well. And I think his grand final score was 45 fish. But it was great to see Dave in action. I reckon he will probably be using the same gear that he caught those 45 with, and possibly the same spot. Let's see. Dave just come on and said, "Sorry, Mark," but awesome. That's going to be an absolute ripper of a match. Peter Driver, haha, not so lucky, young bull. So it's actually going to be young bull versus old bull. It's going to be quite a matchup. All right, let's cross over to the next competitor. We have 3 left. Sean Maher, Dave Coughlin, and Tom Beecher left. Let's next competitor is Shaun Maher is the next competitor. Let's see where Sean draws. Who will Shawnee be up against? First matchup for Sean, first game for Sean will be against, he is number 6. Yes, not 9, 6. So Sean is position number 6. And I do believe, I think it's Andrew Sloan that he will be up against in the first match. Mark Drive, don't worry, Dave. Young Bull has a few tricks this time round. Nice. Well, Shawnee will be up against Andrew Sloan, I think it was, and that's going to be these two definitely dark horses. That's what they're all saying over there, and this is going to be a great match for their first one. Let's cross over. We've just got two more to go. Someone's going to be playing Danny, and someone's going to be playing Peter Driver. So let's pull out the next competitor. The next competitor is David Coughlin. David Coughlin. Let's see who Dave's going to be up against. It's either Peter or Danny, wasn't it? I think. Good shake. And righto. Dave has come in to number 10 position. So I think Dave is up against Peter Driver for his first match. So that one's going to be very interesting. We had a chat to Dave the other day, and I know he's been Tom said last out again. Tom Beach has just come on, but we know that Dave's been doing a lot of training, and he's been getting some good fish. So it's going to be an interesting match, that one. It's going to be definitely an interesting match. All right, so this only leaves one person. Tom Beecher will play against, let's pull out Tom. He will come up against Danny. So Tom Beecher there, last out of the draw, and surprise, surprise, no need to shake. Last number is position number 8. So Tom Beecher, position number 8. So Tom will be up against Danny Sizek from the USA, and that's going to be interesting lineup as well. All these top anglers, and I think the draw has come pretty even with people catching numbers that I've been hearing. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So what we'll do, we'll be sorting out the games. So stay tuned with our all our socials, and you'll find out when the first game and who's playing and things like that. So there's the live draw. There's the matchups. So we've got Mark Driver up against Dave O'Donovan. We've got Tom O'Connor up against Mark Sloan. Andrew Sloan up against Sean Marr. Danny Sizik up against Tom Beecher. And Peter Driver versus David Coughlin. All right, guys. We've got Pat Kennedy on here. He's jumped on. So best of luck, Peter. Sean Marr, leave the best till last, Tom. And Peter Driver said, "Oh, that could be a tough one." But anyway, thanks, guys, for watching. Live draws out of the way, and things are going to start to heat up over there, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter happening. So stay tuned on our social media, and we will keep you updated very soon. All right. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon.